Welcome to another exciting episode of the Sports Special Edition. I'm Khotso Sello. Well, despite qualifying for the AFCOn for the first time since 2019, the continuous poor turnout at Bafana Bafana home matches is a highly worrying sign for the national team. The public backing of South Africa's senior national men's football side has diminished over the years, and it seems a serious rebranding is required. Former Bafana Bafana captain Aaron Mokoena says a lot of structural changes at SAFA are happening behind the scenes to help propel Bafana Bafana back to the top where it belongs. I caught up with Mokoena over a round of golf.
We have unbelievable instructors in football. The life of Steve Khotso Sello, Conti Kubeka. Those are guys that are there actually to help us to get these qualifications. And after I have done this UEFA C license and the CAF C license, I now see football in a different perspective, you know, from a coaching point of view. Yes, I mean, I might be the most kept footballer, traveled the world as a footballer, but now when you come to this other side of being a coach, it's important to get the qualifications.
And the world of football is consistently changing, evolving, and things change. And, you know, these trends you need to keep abreast with.
Sure. I mean, look at the likes of Pep Guardiola. You know, these are guys that I've played football. And they played football and they studied football. That's why actually they do tremendously in this game, and they keep up with the change of this football. Then you used to play back pass and goalkeeper is no more. There's no more.
The keeper needs to be good by the feet.
Exactly. Now you get involved. You get involved now. You become a sweeper keeper. Exactly. You get involved. So yes, I think rightly said. Football changes. We need to change as well and think as coaches, not as footballers anymore.
Is it inspiring to see the likes of Rulani Mokoena doing what they're doing, conquering the continent, and also putting South Africa on the map to say we don't just have quality players, but our coaching department is something to be reckoned with? Because I know in the journalism space, I'm getting emails and phone calls from journalists from other countries asking me, who is this Rulani Mokoena? What is he all about? Does that give you guys at SAFA, you know, some sort of motivation to say, you know what, we need to start investing in this?
No, for sure. I mean, Rulani, well done to him. I mean, he absolutely showed that it doesn't matter how old are you. 36 years old, showed the African continent that once you get in class, you can be able to deliver as long as you understand, as long as you have the philosophy, and as long as you know how to implement it, as long as you have right players to be able to implement this thing, it is possible. And luckily, in this A license course, SAFA have called him to come and share his word with the coaches.
Some expertise, just interchanging those ideas. Absolutely.
And he was absolutely happy to do that, and he did it. So for me, looking up to this guys, you know, so it is possible. It's all about really exactly what you said, sharing the ideas, but with the right people. Yes, I mean we living in nowadays where we can probably say, especially people like us, we're fresh in these games. We need to bring fresh ideas. But the only way to do that is to share ideas with the likes of Rulani and understand actually how it's happening or how to do this. Luckily, I've been the assistant coach at Cape Town City under Jan Olderikring, my former development coach at Ajax Amsterdam. I have learned a lot, you know. Now I'm under supervision of I would say the doctor, the coach, the instructor, Walter Steenbok.
You're able to transfer those skills now.
I do learn a lot from him, you know. So for me, I think sky's the limit to get out there and showcase what we can do. There will be a lot of changes very soon. Obviously, SAFA and Walter Steenbok will announce that. Very interesting projects that are coming through from SAFA. So I'm looking forward actually to give back my experiences and make a difference in South African football world.
And before we get to those changes, talking about sharing of ideas, I know that Springbok coach Jacques Nienaber and director of rugby Rassie Erasmus, what they used to do is, leading up to the World Cup, they'd go to the different franchises, talk to those franchises, see how they're doing their thing, share what they're doing at the Springboks, and it becomes, an information exchange, so that by the time the players get to the Springbok level, there's some sort of understanding, Is it something that perhaps, in football as well, we can look at, where instead of everybody hogging their resources, let's share, because at the end of the day, it's about Bafana Bafana, which is going to represent us at the highest stage. Look,
I think that you just touched on something that it's so important. It's important to learn from what's happening in rugby, in cricket. And likely right now, 5 minutes ago when you called me for interview, I was sharing ideas with Sean Bartlett. I remember Sean Bartlett actually worked for Galaxy, TS Galaxy, and I think he did well. He have learned a lot. He worked for Cape Town Spurs. He got them to play for PSL that promoted. So he got promoted. I was there actually sharing ideas with him, trying to understand what did he do right. For me, it's all about the good things that you do. Yes, I mean, it's okay to learn about the negative stuff, but
and the mistakes happen, and that's how you're gonna learn.
Also. But sharing ideas with Sean Bartlett, it's an eye opener for me. So it's exactly what we need to do as South African coaches. To get to learn from each other, to get to share ideas. And hence I said that the fact that Rulani got to this A-license coaching course, that means a lot, because obviously it's to really share what he has experienced. He got that obviously from Pito as well. So it's very good. It's nice to be open. Now we're talking about South African football. What is South African football? We need to understand
what's our philosophy.
And how to implement that philosophy. We do have, I still believe that we do have
identity.
We have an identity, but now it's how to implement that. So these licenses for us will absolutely showcase in the near future, and hopefully sky's the limit.
And talking about, the development part of the football, we've seen what Hugo Bruce has been doing with Bafana Bafana at the current moment. And next year they've already qualified for, the Ivory Coast Africa Cup of Nations. Do you feel that we've got a team that can surprise a lot of people, and perhaps, with the talent that's coming through, have players that will succeed this one and keep the ball rolling?
No, for sure, Khotso. I've got no doubt. Likely I'm working with, with Hugo Bros at SAFA. And we get to bump to each other. What a dedicated person, He's so ambitious at this game. And what he has actually put together at the dressing room of Bafana is that synergy amongst each other, the chemistry. Now we know who's our left back. Now we know who's our right back. Now we know who's our goalkeeper. Back then we used to struggle actually to put 11 players together. And that actually brings the chemistry. Once you play with the next player, game after game, you get to understand the weaknesses and the strong points, and you get to understand each other. That's what he have brought together. The qualification for next year's Africa Cup of Nations, that for me, I think nothing wrong with supporting the Springboks, nothing wrong with supporting cricket, but let's support Bafana Bafana. Today actually is obviously the first World Cup qualifier. Hopefully the boys will pull it off. To be honest, I'm their number one supporter. I would absolutely love the boys to do well in Cup of Nations, and of course, get the qualifications for the World Cup 2027.
Are you excited to see what they can do come AFCON next year?
Oh, for sure. I cannot wait. The fact that we have beat Ivory Coast at home, the fact that we have beat Morocco that has just got back from the World Cup, The fact that they played the past 5 games, they haven't lost. They only conceded 2 goals. You know, that for me actually it's a serious hope. I really feel that they can go to Cup of Nations next year and make us proud.
And Sundowns beat Wydad Casablanca.
Oh yes,
Moroccan team.
Yeah, yes.
So
No. For me, really, I mean, with the players that we have right now, we have assembled, or that Hugo Bros have assembled. I strongly believe that. And most players are from Sundowns with their experience of playing in African Football League or in African continent. So yes, I mean it's a nice nice squad that he has assembled, but it's all about getting out there. You get judged by winning games, you get judged by winning trophies. So going to Cup of Nations for us actually it will be a eye opener to the entire continent that we are coming.
And lastly from me, just touching on, Sundowns playing in Africa competition, how important is it for more South African clubs to enter CAF competitions so that, they gain that experience, so that come Bafana Bafana time, we have the right quality and the right type of experience?
Luckily, I've been doing these games with SABC, and I strongly understand what's the vision of African Football League. And fortunately we have the leader who's not really about the money, but he wants to give money to players, he wants to give money to clubs, he wants to make sure that the clubs get to understand what this AFL means.
The importance of it.
For me, the importance, as he came out to say, the importance is to make sure that South African, let's say African football clubs, they've been run properly, professionally. The logistics, I mean,
don't worry about transport, phone calls.
Exactly.
Just worry about.
So that's exactly what he wants. He wants players to make money, clubs to make money. But it's important when clubs make money, they improve their way of running the club. It's important. I understand that the chairmen, the owners of the club, they want to make money out of the investment. I mean, they invested in the clubs, but it's important actually to make it easy for players, so the players they can think about performing in the field. So hopefully people will understand how important this African Football League, and they would buy into it.
No, Aaron Mokoena, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Kay. Thank you so much.
And all the best for you
in
your new job at SAFA.
Thank you.
And make changes, brother.
No, we'll try. Thank you so much. Good having me.